Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Zachary on Reanimator versus Matthew on Blue Black Shadow. Two decks that I like quite a bit. Played a lot of Blue Black Shadow, have some really memorable matches with that deck on the channel. I don't know if there's any footage of me playing Reanimator. Oh, probably a lot of Tin Fins. Yeah, I definitely played a lot of that Dark Depths, Tin Fins, Reanimator combo, Shallow Grave, Gristlebrand, all that. Now, Blue Black Shadow basically is a Blue Black Delver deck, and Delver of Secrets going to be the core to most of the openings. Zach's going to be learning about all of these cards in real time, literally his first Magic tournament, going from kitchen table into the deep end of the pool and starting out with a Dark Ritual for a Collective Brutality. And that is going to escalate, killing the Delver of Secrets and making Matthew discard a card. That is going to be absolutely brutal. I mean, resolves or not, it's doing its job. And Zachary got to learn all of these cards. I advise anybody that's been thinking about it, you know what? Be like Zach. Jump on in. Build a deck. Have some fun. If you're in the area, Zach actually was able to pick up this deck over the course of a pretty short period of time, actually. Started out with some Reanimators for a casual deck, and that spiraled into just like an absolutely stellar legacy deck. Now there's some improvements to be made, but you know, I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's really important to have goals. Like your brain actually gives a damn about incremental progress toward goals. It's not about actually reaching it. It's not so much about like making it to the top of the mountain, but about climbing that mountain. And that's one of the things Magic does better than anything, is gives us so many different ways that we can engage with goals, whether it's collecting or improvement in playing. You can always be making forward progress, which is truly remarkable. And also, you know, there's the aspect of your own personal aesthetic. You know, Zachary really fell in love with this Reanimator style deck and was able to pursue that within his budget restraints, working with him to try and figure out the best ways to make that happen. And I think this is actually a excellent place that he landed. Now he's resolved the Gristlebrand by Reanimation, and Matthew actually not going to be able to beat the 7/7 lifelink, so we are moving on to the next game. Blue Black Shadow, very fast deck, but it is going to need some time to make sure that it can win games 2 and 3. Reanimator can win incredibly fast, so Death Shadow does not want to be in a situation where you're going into the final game of the match and, you know, maybe there's only a few minutes left. That's going to mean that Reanimator has a realistic chance to win that match, but you really don't. Death Shadow might be one of the few Delver decks that could prove me wrong on that front, because there are some like really insane draws involving reanimating Street Wraith, for example, that can go super fast. But honestly, Reanimate, one of the most important cards here, could give Matthew a chance to reanimate a spicy card out of Zachary's graveyard. Reanimate actually can target either player's graveyard. So if Zachary is not careful enough with his graveyard, he could actually give Matthew a free win. And that's going to be a certain level of tension there. I'm going to go ahead and skip past the shuffling. And this game, Matthew leading out with a Ponder. While he does that, doesn't look like they've got life on the screen, so I'm going to see about getting this app. Try and keep track here, because Matthew's life total actually going to be very important. Not normally the case when you're playing against Reanimator. Usually your life total is not super relevant. We've got a Dark Ritual, which gets Force of Willed. Matthew not interested in any type of insane explosive start from Zachary. And now a Thoughtseize, so really playing this super tough. Entomb taken with this Thoughtseize, giving Zachary 0 space. Fetch land. And another watery grave means that Death Shadow can come down now, as he is at 12 life. It'll only be a 1/1, but it certainly can get bigger very quickly. Street Wraith actually down to 10 now. And a Ponder. Alright, so looks like a Delver of Secrets going to the top. And it looked like he went Reanimate land. I'm hoping I saw that wrong. Reanimate. Grabbing Street Wraith. Yeah. So he is down to 5 with a Delver of Secrets and a Street Wraith on board, which could be like a 4-turn clock. Him to Turok. And at this point, Matthew's just all in on his aggro strategy, but we'll see if the damage that he's done with his discard will stop Zachary from finding a way back into this game. He does have a Reanimate. So an Entomb or drawing a creature plus discard. Also, this is a mono black version, so like Grave Titan, totally castable. However, keep in mind that this is basically going to be unblockable damage, flying, going to be pretty difficult to deal with, and the Swamp Walk is actually going to be unblockable. If it gets to the point where a Gristlebrand comes out, that's going to be a real problem. Oh wow, Zachary actually scooping it up there. Now he was at 14. I feel like that was actually too early for that. I guess the thought process was a Reanimate wouldn't get him back into the game, but I think Reanimator has plenty of time to win the match here. Yeah, we still have a half hour left in the round, so I would say that was probably a bit early to scoop it up there. It was unlikely to win, but that is kind of one of the key aspects of tournament magic, is finding a way to win those games where you might only have 5% chance to win. Certainly a Death Shadow would punch that game out in a hurry. But Street Wraith and Delver of Secrets was going to be 3 more turns worth of attacking. And a lot can happen for a Reanimator across that time frame. I believe he's on Elishnorn as well. There's a slot there worthy of consideration, Elishnorn or Massacre Worm. Massacre Worm much more castable, which is going to be important in games 2 and 3 when you're facing down your opponent's sideboard. Matthew with the smiley face layout for his cards. And we've got a turn 1 Entomb, Snap, Force of Willed, Counterspelled. Probably the first time that Zachary's played against Force of Will in his life. That is not super common at the kitchen table. I'm not sure one of his friends might have picked up a Force. They definitely picked up a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's when it was clear that this was going to be an arms race with his play group. People really just jumping in with both feet and having a blast. I love seeing it. It's really great to see people discovering Magic. It's been practically, it's almost 30 years now? Over 25 years. And another Entomb Force of Willed. Wow. Matthew having the double force versus the combo deck and a Delver to go along with it. Not bad. That is going to be tough to contend with. We'll see if Zachary has any more gas. I agree with keeping those cards out of the graveyard. Him to Turok. Strips the rest of his hand. Zachary may have drawn that for turn, or he may have prioritized casting the Entomb over it, not anticipating the double force. Generally, you want to use that discard to clear the way of counter magic. It's your primary objective with those. And now another Hymn to Torok. This one, not going to be super strong. It's going to get the worst card out of these three, and Matthew's going to be able to draw what he actually wants off the top of the library. So he keeps one card, and it is a Ponder. 3 damage coming in. Now, if Zachary can land a giant creature, Blue-Black Shadow is actually going to be pretty terrible at handling those creatures compared to previous builds of Delver, which would have... Oh, he's actually going to scoop it up here. Just checking the top of the deck to see Matthew showing Surgical Extraction, a card that would have crushed Zach's hopes there if he did manage to get something into the graveyard. Really, the question there would be whether or not he'd be able to, for example, hard cast a Grave Titan. That's generally going to be easier once both of your Entombs are countered. To have that backup plan makes this Reanimator deck a thing to contend with. Hopefully we see some more of this on camera. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.